Morena from Aotearoa on this new moon in Cancer, be that in surreal or tropical astrology. That is where our new moon resides today. So it's a perfect time for initiating new beginnings. And a special welcome to a lot of our new faces in Circle today. We're glad that you could join us. And just as an introduction for those that are new to Guardians of Gaia, this is an open circle for those that are on their in service to our planet and humanity, those that are in a place of remembrance of that. And to remember, the journey of remembering brings us into that awareness, for we are all guardians of Gaia. And as we awaken to that process, we begin to serve our planet and humanity in different dimensional realities as we connect to our own. So, welcome to today's journey. We will begin with the alignment process. And after this, we will expand on the importance of alignment in our embodiment and evolutionary journey. For evolution takes the time it takes to align. So if you are new, you may wish to stand up, sound, breathe, and move in this process if you're just waking or arriving into this space. We go through the alignment together so that we may come into the unified field of love, so that wishes to emerge through our field today may emerge, and so that we may receive all that we are here to receive from this space and place. So together, aligning physical, mental, and emotional bodies with all-pervading soul or higher self, and monadic galactic selves. Activating the Earth Star 1 foot, half a meter beneath the feet, and connecting through the divergent meridians of the planetary body. The Rios de Luz, light, agua, water, fuego, fire, and oro, gold and mineral kingdom, and inviting those primordial elements of creation up through our pillar to cleanse, clear, and purify, to regenerate, rejuvenate, and recalibrate. All the way up to our soul star, 1 foot, half a meter above the head, as we activate our soul star and inviting down our celestial nature to meet our terrestrial matter, to mix and mingle in this earthly realm. Surrendering through the core of Source in the heart of Gaia, where the new true earth architecture emerges. And as we soften and surrender into that space, exhaling deeply, landing into our pelvic bowl, into our chalice, into our sound center and dome. And surrendering and softening, for we are held in this space. And all those we encounter and engage with are held when supported when we are in this space and place. Surrendering through the core of Source in our own heart spaces. And breathing in and expanding in the heart center into the unified field. Pausing in this place and reminding ourselves that that very foundation stone of our embodiment and evolution is our unconditional love of self, which our self-worth, self-love, and self-respect is founded upon, to the extent where we will no longer compromise. Surrendering through the core of Source and the heart of the Sun, our nearest star that is just passing through the solstice and summer in the north. Surrendering through the core of Source in the great central sun. And feeling this alignment through the body. It's not a matter of imagining figures of light. We're feeling it all through the physical animal bodies that we are walking this earth. Surrendering through the core of Source in the heart of the moon, which is currently in Cancer. The crab, our home. And surrendering through the core of Source in the heart of Talia, our ancient lunar sphere, part of which is now embedded in the African continent. And for those who are active, activating the solar and lunar discs. Before surrendering through the core of Source in the galactic center, wherever that resides in your system, be it through the umbilicus or through the third eye, our gateway to God, all-seeing and all-knowing. As we invite our ancient future selves into the now and our highest possible soul destiny and service to person, people, and planet according to divine plan and divine will, in right relationship with our physical bodies and human experience. Inhaling, exhaling with sound as you strengthen and fortify your own unique pillar. Inhaling, exhaling with sound as you strengthen your pillar and the place on the planet where you stand today, honoring the guardians of this land. Inhaling, exhaling with sound as we connect around and through the planetary body into the unified field. And maintaining that connection, that hum like the honeybee, in this exploration of alignment, coherence, and embodiment, as I hand you over to Casey.
Thank you, everyone. We are going to stay in this connection field and expand out just a little bit, welcoming into the circle, the experience, the consciousness, the connection to the breath of life, the ha, the moment when sound and light come together in the beginning of creation, in the forming of all things, in the mixture inside our own human vessels, and feeling as we breathe into our bodies, how our cells come alive, how they dance, how they sing, how they vibrate in their own harmonics. We will be playing with this concept throughout the circle today. And remembering that we can step into this field of consciousness out in the cosmic space and watch how planets and stars are formed. Stepping out into the creation waves and watching as particles come together. Forming things, bits of matter, color, frequency, watching light dance into the cosmic space, watching light dance to our fields. We can have that experience when we connect our feet to Gaia, watching the energetic light as we connect to her, watching the light as we connect to one another in the field, creating those moments of connection. And not requiring any physical touch, physical connection. We create light through energetics. We wish to enter into the field that of balance and harmony. And watching as these two elements begin to play. Seeing what they can create. And watching what comes forward from them. All of these things can be played out in the void space, entering into the void, the cosmic womb, the space of unity, the space of the heart field. Stepping into the field of consciousness, the cosmic alignment that is taking place at this time. The alignment that is allowing things to shift and move on the cosmic playing field. It is on this field that chess is being played. And this is the beginning steps of what we see in our reality space. It must take form cosmically first before we can play with it in our density space. Welcoming into the field the cetacean nation, the whales that wish to be part of the circle today. They wish to take up space among us, inviting all those to tap into their energy field. And tapping into the star rays from which they come. This is a much bigger group that has just joined the field. This process of expanding out into the cosmic space is one that we encourage you to do always. To understand that there is a much bigger story happening, much bigger playing field that you can have impact on. It is by walking in these elevated fields that you have even a greater impact. That is what is going on your physical plane. This higher perspective combined with the connection with Gaia in your physical bodies, is what allows magic to happen. It allows true creation to take place. We are excited for the journey today. We are encouraging each one of you to anchor into this field and bring it back into your human bodies at this time. We wish for the heart coherence to be very present in this field today as well. When you are ready, stepping back fully into your physical self, adding movement to your body, wiggling your toes, bringing movement to your fingers, breathing deeply into yourselves. And when you are ready, choosing to come all the way in by opening up your eyes.
Thank you, Casey. That was beautiful. When you invited in the whales, there's a whole bunch of species of whales here that don't exist on our planet that have just shown up for today's journey. It's quite extraordinary. So before we go there, a little bit about the alignment journey. As I mentioned earlier, evolution takes the time it takes to align. Aligning our physical, mental, and emotional bodies as the Earth team with soul as leader. As we were programmed, mind as leader, and this is the program for the mind, and this is how your earth walk should be. That's your path of fate, unless you choose otherwise. And that requires a great deal of surrender, letting go of control and surrendering to soul, and learning how to listen. And following the wisdom of our own inner knowing on our next steps. And when we align those bodies, embodiment happens. To bring those bodies into alignment, when we resolve all of the stories from this timeline and others, the consciousness will naturally descend into the body. And this is so deeply required on this earth walk. The pure heart and enlightened mind is not enough for this earth walk, particularly when in planetary service. If we are serving from pure heart and enlightened mind only and not occupying our pillar, our lighthouse, the chances are it will suffer, because we're conducting a lot of very high frequency energy, cosmic and planetary energy. And if we haven't done the groundwork, the basement work, the unconscious work, it can actually create dis-ease in our body. And on that note, when we do a lot of planetary work, the body, I've noticed, tends to burn a lot of minerals. Everyone often thinks about vitamins, but we burn a lot of minerals when we are doing planetary service. So to keep that in mind. And I will also, there was a brand called Mega Minerals, it's now called Bone Plus, that has a really good quality mineral supplement. And we can also access etheric mineral supplements to support that journey. So to keep that in mind as we up-level self-love and care. And since our last meeting 2 weeks ago, we're literally being called into a greater degree of alignment with our soul and with truth beyond mind, which is of a frequency and a resonance field that not only guides our way, but strengthens and deepens our capacity to transmit through our individual and collective pillars. And as the pendulum swings to the extremes in the planetary pantomime of chaos, it's really, really important that we can maintain our center, our groundedness, our connection, and our coherence for ourselves and our communities, and for the next wave of incoming galactic children and what is wishing to emerge, what is wishing to birth at this time of death simultaneously. And coming into that alignment, we're also talking about thoughts, words, emotions, and actions. Are our thoughts in alignment with our words, in alignment with our emotions and our actions? Or are we thinking one thing and saying another? Because those have to meet in the middle so that our inner world is a reflection in our outer world. Our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. Because when that happens, there is a whole lot of play, passion, and pleasure to be enjoyed in these bodies on earth right now. Absolutely. And I got to experience that just after we last met by taking myself to the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra. And I was quite literally in ecstasy for 2 hours, except when somebody went down the stairs with cymbals to ground anybody at the intermission. My whole body was singing and swimming in the harmonics of the many, many different layers and levels of sound, vibration, and frequency that were being offered into the field. And it was a completely orgasmic experience. And oh, I can't wait to the next one. And do hope some of you will come join me if it's on. It was a pure delight. So on that note, is there any other questions or contributions to the field before we move on to our sound journey with Talia today? Online Foundation of Embodiment program, and the first alignment process of the bodies, the Foundation of Embodiment alignment process of the bodies, that shamanic journey is available online. So I'm going to put that into the YouTube link so that anybody who wants that to explore the alignment between their physical, mental, emotional body and soul is welcome to do so. And the other alignment that's happening on the planet right now is very much for our ancient future sacred journey through Egypt. And the reason I'm bringing this into the field now is because that journey wants to be part of this journey that we're going on. Because this, our sacred journey through Egypt that is taking place this September equinox from 9th till the 23rd of September, seems to be calling in the sound masters, the songstresses, the songline keepers, the musicians, and the technicians. And as far as I'm aware, this journey is for those that are here to weave in the frequencies of our ancient future into the new earth frequencies of the tapestry of creation. So that wishes to come into our journey today with awareness that there are 6 pillars remaining to be claimed in this circle. So if you are feeling aligned and in resonance, please reach out, because the gate is open and we're asking for full commitment by 4th of July, because we will have to submit names and passports for our applications for our private visitations in the pyramid and the Sphinx. So on that note, it was with great pleasure that I have a question before I hand you over. John Waveney, do you have a question, or are you just giving us a wave from there? Just giving us a wave, okay. Thank you. Then it's great pleasure I get to hand you over to Talia, whose gifts we have been enjoying so much these last months. And the floor is yours.
Thank you, Leanne. It's beautiful to be here. Thank you for inviting me. It's beautiful to sit and look and take in all your faces. Yeah. So I'd love just to invite us all just to take a breath together. And as we're breathing out, just that we can feel for each soul on this call also breathing out, breathing in and out. You might invite a little sound on the out breath, a little hum, just inviting you to feel for a softening in the body, in the face, in the mouth, and the tongue, in the jaw, as we breathe in and out together and feel each other's hearts, feel each other's wombs, energetic wombs in masculine and feminine form. You might imagine us standing together on a landscape somewhere in circle, breathing in and out together and just feeling for our feet on the earth, breathing down into the earth womb, into our waters, into all our oceanic creatures, and just feeling the breathing in and out together. And just inviting this feeling or intention of opening in the body, opening all the holes, that we're creating space in our body for our voice and for our breath without needing to know. And as we keep breathing together, wherever you're standing on this earth, just feeling for the song, for your song and for the song of the ones together, that all our voices joining together into the one song, and sending that down deep into the earth, into the bottom of the ocean, anchoring it down. And just inviting maybe a little bit of movement in the body, breath, sound, movement, that we're not static, we're not still, that we're constantly in motion. And our voice is constantly in motion, and our song is constantly in motion. And we keep inviting this spaciousness into the body, spaciousness. How much can we take in and how much can we let go? And how does that affect our voice and our song? How much can we breathe her in and how much can we let her out? Without knowing, in total surrender. Maybe just inviting a little bit of sound on the last couple of breaths in this circle together. And then in your own time, just coming back into the space. So I'm just going to share a little bit and just really inviting myself and you as I'm speaking to keep opening the hearing and to keep this intention of this circle together, this tribe, that we hear the tribe. So I'm going to share just a little bit about my journey with sound, and yeah, I guess sound is what lights me up. I've always sung since I was a little girl, and yeah, it's always been kind of my north node in a way, and it always anchors me on this earth. It always calls me home, and yeah, I feel like sound is my first language. I feel like a lot of union when I sing, a lot of connection with our land and with the earth. And my journey took me initially from a place of classical singing for a long time, even though I grew up on a farm and kind of listened to country and western music down in the south of New Zealand. Something in me heard classical singing and heard Kiri Te Kanawa and a man called Inia Te Wiata here in New Zealand, and something in me responded to that. And so I followed that path for a very long time, and I still hold that as a very sacred art form. And yeah, I have a lot of respect for anyone following that path. And then over time, I became very interested in sound healing when it was still kind of a thing, that was quite a long time ago now, and there wasn't so much in the field at that time, but I was drawn to that. And yeah, then at the age of 40, I kind of gave up, in a way, classical singing, although of course it's still in my bones, but gave up singing that as a kind of art form, and moved more into a place of like being a channel, I guess, or just letting sound move through me and exploring that, and exploring to the song of the earth. And yeah, then I became interested in just all things somatic, all things somatic. I went in this whole path of somatics and tantra, and studied a lot of somatic modalities, and I became really curious about the vagus nerve and how that weaves in our body. And back when I still couldn't find out much information around it, but I just knew it was a thing. And I also became really, really fascinated, which I still am, with this connection that we have between our throat and our sexuality and our sex, and the physiological connection of them together, and how they weave together, and what happens when one is severed, what happens to the other one, and how they are a mirror of each other. And we know this if we look at pictures. I'm sure many of you know that if you look at a picture side by side of a throat and a cervix, that they are mirrors of each other. And so something in that was just really fascinated, and something I felt that has become dismembered a little in our voices. And so I feel really strongly about this reconnection between these places, and what happens to our voice when we allow for that channel to move right through the whole system. Because I often feel like our our speaking and our sounding voices a little bit from here up, and that we need to really land the voice down through the whole body, through all our holes. And yeah, what happens when we can do that, and how for myself I feel like I can connect, become much more expansive in terms of what I can connect into, what my expansiveness, and also in my ecstasy as well, my pleasure and my life force, my creation, my primordial song. And so that's what I'm curious about, and that's what I'm curious for you as well. And I'm curious, when we do that together, what happens. And I feel like I like to really weave or co-create from a place of not knowing that anything could happen. I think that we can become very conditioned in how we breathe and how we sing. And I'm all for kind of expanding the perimeters out and almost being in the chaos, because I think often from this chaos actually becomes a lot of harmony, actually becomes even more harmony, more harmonious. And so there's a trust that needs to happen from that place, and a surrender and a softening. Yeah, and really it's like, if we think about the inspiration, it's the in-breath is really for me so important. The way that we take in the breath is the way that we can let go. And so today I'm going to invite us to do a little thing together, and just to get curious about what might happen. And I'm going to be really focusing on this place of how we take in, how we can open on the in-breath, because the more that we can open and expand on the in-breath, the more that we can let go, let our sound pour out. And so just really letting go of any ways of conditioned breathing or any forms of breathing that you might have learned, and to just be in the not knowing with that. Like, what we're inviting is for the throat to open so that she can open down, that she can descend. So the more that I can just let my throat open and draw down to meet my pelvic floor, to meet my sex, the more that this channel becomes a kind of clear portal in a way for me to pour forth. And so that's what I'm going to just invite us all to do together today, and to just get curious and to let your body move and breathe and sound in ways of not knowing, in forms perhaps unknown, so that something else may come in, something else may be opened. Yeah, so it's kind of a little bit like a Pandora's box. And yeah, just really thank you, Casey, for bringing in the whales. And yeah, because when I feel this song, and there's like so much to be remembered, I feel, and the expansiveness of their song. And I guess that's what I'm inviting, is expansiveness of our song, the song that can travel for miles and travel to other lands. And there's so much waiting for it to be excavated and remembered there, and opened to, like, when to hear their song. Yeah. Yeah, so that's really what I just want to do for the next few minutes, is really just connecting to our breath and to our body, and the sound that wants to be open and expanded from that place. And as I'm breathing and sounding, I'm also hearing all of you breathing and sounding as well, so that we're one pod, in a way, one pod swimming together in the ocean. And I'm feeling the deep listening and the deep softness of that swimming together, that we all bring our voice, because every voice is needed in the pod. Every song is needed. And so just really acknowledging that for many of us, we've had a journey of not feeling like we had a voice, or that our voice is stuck, or that we couldn't sing in the choir, or that we're like, we all have this story, myself included. And so just for this moment to be able to let go of the stories and to know that you do have a voice, and often the person that may think that they're the most tone deaf is actually the person with the most beautiful, beautiful sound just waiting to come forth. And so there's nothing here about needing to sing in tune or out of tune. There's just sound. And that when we invite every note to be welcomed into the space, something else happens, something else forms. And so I'm inviting that into the space as we do this little journey together in the next few minutes. So you can stand, sit, lie down, however you feel, but I'd love for you to bring your voice into the space and just to start to tap into your breath and the breath of the pod, and to feel the in and the out, and just to really invite everything to soften. You might even want to take the breath in through an open mouth, because often when we open the mouth, we open the throat as well. So not to be attached to breathing in through the nose, but actually even for this, just to invite the mouth to the jaw to drop, and just to feel for how much you can take in when you breathe in, and to feel what might happen in the throat as you really open your mouth, and to feel what might happen in your pelvic floor when you really open your mouth, and how one may start to really connect with the other mouth, to feel for these mouths that we have in our body, these holes, and to feel how we can really open and expand them. So as I'm breathing in, I'm also expanding out sideways. I'm expanding 360 degrees. I'm not just front and back. I'm also on my sides. I'm also taking in from the sides of me. So my breath, how much can I breathe in? How much can I take in to let my song pour out? So really inviting that spaciousness into the in-breath, so that when we make a sound, the throat is already open to just pour forth. You might just invite a little bit of a hum or a sigh on the out-breath. And don't know, just don't know. Don't know what's going to come. Let go of any conditioned sound that you think that you could make. And so as I continue to really feel for this opening on my in-breath, I might start to invite sound from different parts of my body. So we can just, if that feels good for you, do that. If you just want to stay with what you're doing, that's fine as well. But maybe we just start to invite a sound on the out-breath from our heart. And we don't know what sound that's going to be, but we're going to trust that the sovereignty of our sound is going to harmonize with the synergy of everyone else's sound. That through our own sovereignty comes the synergy. And as I make this sound, I'm continuing to opening my ears. I'm continuing to hear my voice with everyone else's voice. You just keep inviting movement into your body, and just feel how your body wants to move as you're sounding, from a place of not knowing, from a place of just continuing to soften. Really opening on the in-breath to take in and let go. And just to keep inviting the sound to drop down, to meet with our pelvic floor, with our chalice, with our womb space, to keep inviting the opening down through the body, through the trunk, through our legs, through our feet, connecting with Mother Gaia. And this time we might invite the sound to come from the palm of our hands. So just to feel for the palm of your hands. And as you're breathing in and the not knowing, to feel for a sound that may want to come from the palm of your hands. Letting the mouth open, letting the throat open, feeling this channel moving through the whole body, through the spine, through the back of our body. There's so much sound in the back of our body. And just inviting a little bit more sound through the palm of the hands. And as you're sounding, just keep hearing for the pod, keep hearing the pod, keep hearing the other sounds in the pod. And this time just inviting a sound through your spine, just to feel the undulation of your spine and the song, all the song that's held in all the different parts of the spine. And just opening to the spine. And not to sit and analyze the sound and did that sound okay? Just to feel for the song in this moment. You might feel for different parts of your spine as you're sounding this, you might feel drawn to bring the sound into a specific part of the spine, so just trust that. And maybe we'll just feel for a couple more places in the body, so maybe just to feel for your sex, feel for whether you're in a male or female form or whatever form that you like to describe yourself as, that you feel for your sex. You feel for these holes. You might want to take in the breath through this place, through these holes. That as you're opening in the throat, you're also opening there, and you're feeling those breaths connecting between the upper and the lower, and how they can come together. And just keep sounding as I'm speaking. Just don't know, but trust the movement of your body, trust the breath of your body, trust the song of your body, that it will show you in the pod, Just letting yourself sink into your sex, letting yourself sink. Just really feeling the trunk of the body. Remembering to really open the throat on the in-breath, to really inhale your sound, to create space in the body. How much can I take in is how much I can let go. How much can I receive? How much can I soften to draw her into my system, to not know what wants to come forth? And maybe we'll just finish with the last song coming down into the base of our feet, connecting with the land beneath us, with the waters beneath us, with the rock beneath us, with the lava beneath us. And just to feel into that song as you bring your feet to her and inspire to expire, to feel for that song that wants to come forth, to trust the sovereignty of your song, that your voice matters. To just let yourself rest in your voice, let yourself rest in her. There's no trying, there's no efforting. There's just waves of breathing in and breathing out. You might imagine your song swirling 360 degrees, expanding, expanding, expanding the song. That your song can travel for miles into many different lands and waters, and to trust the song. Maybe you just really let your voice go low. There's often a lot of harmonics and sound in the low notes that can be really powerful for your body. The more that we can bring our song down, the more that we can let it rise. Feel your pelvic floor, your sex connecting with that low sound. Often the low vibrations are really good for our pelvic floor. How low can you go? Maybe you can go even lower. And if your mind is listening to the sound, just let your mind soften. Just trust the body and how she breathes, and how she moves, and in how she sounds. Trust the rhythm, trust the movement of your body. This is the last few moments. Just feeling the back of you, feeling the back of your song. That she pours forth in all directions, that she's multi-dimensional, she's multi-directional. That my sound comes forward and back and side to side. And what happens to my sound when I do that? What happens when I feel for that? What happens when I intend for that? And then just in your own time, really taking your time, and just come back into the stillness of the song. Still feeling yourself maybe on land somewhere or in the ocean swimming, And the song still continues in the silence. The song still vibrates, it still echoes out. How much more can you open to that ecstasy? And to know that your song matters, that we need to hear your song, that she's waiting for us in every moment to hear you. Just noticing whatever is moving for you in your system is welcome. Whatever is moving is welcome. And just these final moments of feeling the connection of the song together. The global song. The water song. And just, I'd love to invite, if anyone has anything to share or any questions or anything they experienced during that little time together. Maybe it was really difficult for you, and that's okay as well. It didn't have to be an amazing experience either. It's all in the chaos. But I'd love to just hear any experiences or any sharings that you have to offer.
I'd like to share, Talia. For me, that was, it felt like, apart from incredible, it felt just like coming home. That a real connection that I've sang and I've toned for a long time. But the way you described it, the way the connection, it just felt so different. I felt connected to the whole ohana here and the whales who are passing now, and it was incredible. So I just want to say thank you. I was meant to see that post. I can't wait for the next one, and this is the start of a big journey for me. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to share impact and medicine. Thank you, Talia, for sharing this session. It activated a lot of codes of remembering for me, and I am deeply grateful for that. And just all the resonance I feel in the sistership here too is very healing for my heart. And in terms of medicine, I'm taking away one question I have had just even this week is how do I more fully fill my own column of light? And what my the aha I got from your session is singing the back body, singing all sides of the body, experiencing my self, my own spherical reality, and letting the vibrations travel throughout the whole entire my toric field. And I just saw when I sang my back body, there was so much like dust that fell away, so much of the past that just got released, like dust disappearing into the wind. It was kind of amazing. So much gratitude. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that in, because the back of the body I always find is really important for sound. And yeah, thank you for bringing that in. That it's a really important piece. Yeah. I'd love to hear if anyone else has something to share. Hi, Josephine.
Kia ora whānau. This is, I think, my first connection with this space, and thank you very much for having me, inviting me in, Leanne. Much gratitude. It's a beautiful space today, and very auspicious to come and be a part of this, and just deepen my connection to self, to the cosmos, to the time and space that we are in now. And for me, it's connected more deeper with self, to acknowledge voice, to acknowledge, it was beautiful to acknowledge that connection between throat and our cervix, and just have that realization of that tube that we feed from here, and then that's the bringing in here, and then the letting go at the other end. It's that cycle. That was lovely to have that, and just to move the body as I sit here by my fire, or move by my fire, and express through the throat, and just that acknowledgement of that connection with ourselves, with each other, and with the cosmos. And acknowledging this morning, we got up early at 5:30 New Zealand time here, and lit the fire. I lit the fire on overlooked the harbour, facing the east, and we welcomed in Matariki and Venus and the moon and the sun that all rose over the east this morning. We didn't quite get to see it with our actual eyes. We needed to connect through a star app. But yes, the sunrise this morning was the moon first, and the sun, and Pleiades or Matariki, and Venus in a group. It's quite the thing. Yeah, just feels very special. So thank you. Thank you, Talia, for that beautiful, all the waiata and the karakia this morning. It's thank you, Leanne, as well. It's most well received, and it's beautiful to be able to give back as well. Much gratitude.
Hi, Talia. Thank you, my darling. I really appreciate that. That was just like my body is just humming, like it's vibrating all the way through. It's amazing. And I felt the power of the sound in the circle. It was sort of moving through the whole circle. And for a moment, I'd forgot about the whales, but then I realized that the whales were here too. And my God, the energy of the whales within the circle is just so powerful. And it reminded me a little bit of something that I don't know whether we shared that with you, but we talked about it, that video that Tom Kenyon did, the song of the New Earth. And I would invite everyone that's has an ability to download that movie from his website called tomkenyon.com. But he brings in the whales into it. It's about healing and sound as well too, and he brings the whales into his field for healing as well too, and that's very, very powerful. And referencing last meeting, which Waverly and I went there, he has a description of a really good Kundalini experience as well too, which is really, really interesting. But thank you so much. That was quite different for me, and yeah, and very, very powerful and all encompassing within the body, and very grounding, which is something that I needed. So thank you so much, Medea. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you so much, Talia. That was a beautiful journey that followed really well to Katie's Kundalini work last on the full moon 2 weeks ago. And I've been blessed to wake up in ecstasy a couple mornings in these last 4 days. And just the other day, when I did wake up and then I was lying there, for some reason I took my awareness down to my coccyx, and I got curious and I started moving my coccyx. You know, we've got connections there, our multifarious little ligaments there. And as I started playing with it, I was like, well, it is the tailbone. And there's something about our tailbone. There's a lot about our tailbone we have yet to discover. Science says that that's where our first cells are. When the sperm meets the egg and starts to divide 1 into 2, 2 into 4, 4 into 8, are the cells in our coccyx, in our tailbone. And I thought, well, on Avatar, the avatars have tails, don't they? So I've been busy researching how many vertebrae on tailbones on different mammals and playing with my own. And it came on towards the end of our journey today that I took that sound all the way down to my coccyx. And what happened is a big aperture opened through Antarctica, through the 7 levels that we've been working with up until now. And that opened, and it's left. It's almost like a portal that's opened, and I can still feel it at the tip of my coccyx simultaneously, in the planetary body. So that was all part of our unified field and journey today, that what unfolded. So thank you for that. And much more to discover on the coccyx tailbone, I imagine.
Yeah, and yeah, thank you for that. And I also feel like just the connection of that with the whales as well, at the coccyx, how it might connect with the whale song as well. Yeah.
It is, something's opened. It's open for the frequencies of our new earth.
It's like the conch shell.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Wow. So, blessed be we.
I'm getting it's like the conch shell.
Yeah. I wonder if Casey has any more to contribute to that before we bring today's journey.
No, but I want Josephine to say something else about that.
The concept.
I'm seeing it, but I'm not seeing how it connects to the whales. Josephine, what else do you see when you say that?
Yeah, well, the conch shell is like that sacred geometric shape that comes up. So yeah, that's what I see is like the conch shell, the coccyx, and the conch shell.
The coccyx and the conch shell, and I'm watching the Fibonacci spiral in both directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing, that image.
And also to feel for it at the top and the bottom of the spine, like at the top and the bottom. Yeah. And how they come together.
Which is under here, and then here, so to feel the coccyx.
The coccyx is the axis.
And then the X, yeah.
And when we're working with the sound body, we're actually working with our own toroidal field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Around.
What was coming through during the journey, Talia, that you were leading? First off, I couldn't tap into it until I let my voice get really low. I had to allow myself to feel the vibration. And then there was this beautiful awareness of, oh, this is an old song, right? This is an ancient song that wants to come through. And when we tap into that spiral, including that vibrational space where we can get super down low into the coccyx space, it opens up this field that leads out into eternity. It's the song of eternity is what the guide said. When you tap into
Aye.
that super low space, the ancient space, it allows us to tap
Morning.
into our song lines that we carry. And also it ties into the star lines at the same time. They're able to merge in this beautiful in-between space when we're able to get super low in our voice and tap into the ancientness that we carry.
Oh, I love that so much because I always want to sing a low a lot now, and like I just want to go down, and because often people are sounding very high, but I always intuitively want to go down low, and that made so much sense to me what you said. Yeah, thank you for that.
That's beautiful, and it weaves in with the Egyptian journey and the frequencies of the new earth that are weaving into the tapestry. We're also weaving in the new star systems for the planetary body. Wow. What a journey. So on that note, that's a lot of information for everybody to integrate today.
Right.
Thank you so much, Talia, for today's journey, and for everyone that joined us on today's journey. Thank you to Katie, who prepared us 2 weeks ago, and for Siren that will come in 2 weeks' time with a sound breath transmission for transformation. And just a reminder to everybody who's joining us with the replay that Talia and everyone present are practitioners in their own space and place. So if you need support at this time, please do reach out. And if you feel this journey has been supportive, please share it with your friends. Please join our channel, subscribe to our channel, and or like and communicate, comment on this communication, and let us know if you have any more questions. For it is a pleasure to be sharing this earth walk with all of you here and those that join us in the space in between. So as we return fully intact onto the earth plane, I'd love to hand you over to Casey for closing today.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to close down the field, gently recognizing where we're standing on the earth plane. Thanking all the information that is still swirling around us, inviting all of those song codes to drop in when they are ready, and saying yes when we are ready to receive and use them. We'll thank the star whales, the cetacean nation, for being part of our journey today, and knowing that they are swimmingly guiding the way for us back to our song lines, back to our soul songs, back to the very essence of our soul. Leading us on our walks as we walk ourselves back home, connecting back to the stars and the star lines. When you are ready, we're going to anchor into our physical bodies, giving a beautiful thank you for all that we experienced today. Allowing our hearts to stay open in this field of gratitude, and knowing that we can come back here at any time. That the circle is always being held for us. That this connection field exists in between our meeting times. With so much love, we'll step back into our human selves a little bit more. Feeling our feet connected to Gaia, we'll begin to wiggle our toes. Adding gentle movement to our hands, our fingers. Breathing deeply into our human bodies. Thanking our human bodies for being on this journey with us. And when you are ready, opening your eyes and coming all the way back in.
Thank you so much, Casey. Thank you for everybody for sharing this beautiful journey today. And may you walk in beauty. Until next we may meet in 2 weeks' time. Aroha nui from Aotearoa. Until next we may meet. Go well.